Happy 2nd of Advent to all of you, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and this is my little corner of YouTube where I like to share my crafty life. I thought we could begin this video with a little bit of footage of what I've been doing for the last couple of days when I've been at home, and a little bit about what creative things I have been diving into. And after this we will have a little chat and more of a normal podcast episode. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's here and everyone watching and leaving comments, and you must make this place the most cozy thing in the world for me, and I am really enjoying being back on YouTube so frequently. If you like my channel and want to support this channel in any way, please consider subscribing or giving this video a thumbs up or leaving a comment down below. It would mean the world to me, and it makes a huge difference. Hello everybody, and happy 2nd of Advent. This week will be a little bit of a mix from the last week and a normal podcast episode, because as you have seen before this, I have cut in some snippets about what I have done over this week and this weekend. And now I thought we could sit down and talk a little bit about my ongoing projects, some new cast on and the reason behind it, and that's it I think. We can start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing a sweater, I think it's called Blåmussla. It's by designer Carina Olsson, and it's from her book Fair Isle Stickning. I absolutely love this sweater. I love these classic Fair Isle things, as you know, and this one is knitted in Hillesvåg Sölje as the base color, and in the color portion there is a ton of different shades of 2-ply wool. I think there's some Rauma, some Jameson, and just some different shades of some of my favorite yarns. So it's the 2nd of Advent. We've had a really busy week and a really busy weekend, but today is Sunday and we are not going away until later this afternoon, and I thought I could sit down and have a little chat with you. It's a super gray and gloomy dark day here, so I have this ring light on, so I don't know on the quality of the video if there is like rings in my eyes or something, if that is bothering you, but there is no daylight here today, so we are just going to live with the artificial light of today. So what I've been doing this week is that I have sewn some garment for some small people, in some Christmassy fabrics. I have shown you that before in the video, and the fabric I got from Tygdrömmar. It's an organic cotton jersey, and I really love the fabric, and it washes very good, and it's great for small children, and they have the cutest little Christmassy prints now, so I ordered some and made some for my niece and a little dress for another special little person in this world. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I've been doing this week. I have also focused quite a lot on getting my weave done for my stickärmaliv. So as you saw in the video, I cut the fabric down, and if you are following me on Instagram, I posted on stories when the evening when I washed it and pressed the fabric, and yeah, you could follow along there. So you have seen my sleeves before. They are patiently waiting for the fabric for the body to become, and it is done. I did cut the weave down, and I have washed this fabric 3 times in the washer. I think I got one like full program of 45 minutes in 40 degrees, I think, and then I washed it 2 more times in 40 degrees, but in a short program on 15 minutes. And after that I got it out, and while it was still wet, me and my husband pulled in it a lot to like loosen the fiber up a little bit because it was very scrunched up, and then I pressed it with an iron like a crazy person. I think I ironed this fabric for over an hour, but it's just because I wanted to flatten it out, get as much structure, and let the fiber really sit where they're supposed to be, so there's not that much stretch in the fabric. And I have felted this fabric really hard, so when I am making a scarf, or even when I did the skirt that I sewn a few weeks ago, I didn't felt that fabric even close as hard as I did this one, because I really want this to be firm and a sturdy, robust fabric that will fit for the jacket I want to sew. But I am super happy. So here is my little bundle of fabric, and all of those meters that I wove has now shrunk to, yeah, maybe 2 meters, a little bit more than 2 meters. And the width is also shrunken down quite a lot. I have a 60 centimeters width, so there is a lot of shrinkage on this fabric, but it's what I wanted, and it's completely like felted and firm, and I think this will be the perfect stickärmaliv jacket. So I'm super happy, and I just love the marling, and yeah, it feels very smooth, and oh, I'm just so happy that you can be this excited and like get this, in Sweden we say pirr i magen, buy something, but this is so fun, and I enjoy the process of this so much. So I am super excited to be able to sew my stickärmaliv soon. So my fabric is done, and I just love rolling it up like a little bundle like this, and I have it in our bedroom on a table, and I'm just looking at it sometimes and dreaming about when I have the time to actually sew the jacket. So my fabric is done. I will say that with the wash, this yarn lost a lot of color. This was a very much more anthracite dark gray, but the water was very black, and it just shredded the color a lot. So tiny bit disappointed that it didn't keep the color, but I treated it quite hard, so maybe I shouldn't be that surprised. But I have woven this in Swedish wool. This is woven from a cone of yarn I bought at Ullcentrum. That is a 400 meters on 100 grams, and yeah, it worked out very well. So now my weave is empty and I really miss it, and I hope I will have the time to warp my loom for a new project soon. So the fabric is done, the sleeves are done, and I am just waiting for Christmas break to come, so I will have the time to sew and really dedicate, because I don't want this project to be something where I just make a little bit here, a little bit there. I want to be focused, and I really want to take my time and spend a couple of hours in a row where I can just dive into the project. And yeah, so that's done. And another thing I have done to prepare myself for making the stick Emily is that I have made a lot of mock-ups in other fabrics to be able to get the fit I want for the jacket. And I have done that with 2 different patterns. I own this pattern by Lina Odell that I have talked about a lot lately. This is her pattern from the stickärmaliv Blekinge, where I live actually, so that's very fun. I haven't used her knitting pattern for the sleeves, and I didn't think that I would use the pattern for the bodies for my jacket, but I think I have landed somewhere in the middle of 2 different things, so it will be similar to this one but not quite the same. But this pattern is based on a size 34-36, and you have to grade it yourself to make it bigger, and I am not at all a 34 or 36, so I have made a lot of changes, and I have tried a lot of things to make it fit my body. So I have made a couple of mock-ups in trying to make that pattern the perfect size for me, and I have also made a mock-up of the body of the Vittröja from this book that is about folk costumes in Sweden. So I will show you. This book is amazing, by the way, so if you wanna, if you like folk costumes or anything, this is a great book. But this is a classic Vittröja, and I really like the fit on this because I like the big triangles in here, and I made a mock-up where I rose those up a little bit to my waist, and I took the shoulder in so it sat more on my actual shoulder. So I made a mock-up of that, and this is just some plain yeah, scrappy fabric from work, so don't look at the fabric too much, but this is just not something we need for anything at work. And I really like the fit of this. I really like that it's quite long. I like the gores and the in the waist, and yeah, I think it fitted really well with the changes I did. But when I wove the fabric, I feel like it's a bit thicker than a normal vadmal. So I think the gores will make it too bulky and too wobbly. I think that is more good looking if you have a flatter and a thinner fabric than I have. So then I scaled up Lina's pattern to my size, and I made this mock-up, and this is quite a thick fabric, so I thought that was kind of similar to what I have at home. So first I made this mock-up. I upgraded the pattern a few centimeters here and there, and the biggest things I have changed is that I have I have made this part taller. So because I have quite deep, like from my shoulder down to here is quite deep, so I needed to raise it up. And yeah, I made this mock-up, and I'm really happy with the fit. But I also tried to make the little gores in the back, and for me this is kind of, I really like the look, but I don't like the bulkiness in this fabric, and my fabric will be even bulkier. So then I thought I could make a mock-up without the gores and rising not the length here, but the depth of the armhole right under the sleeve. And I made this mock-up. It's very similar, but it's without the gores in the back, and it's a little bit higher here, and this fits perfectly. I have even sewn another fabric on the inside to get a feel of how heavy it could be, and this fits really, really good. I am so happy with the fit of this. So I have draped the pattern, so I have it ready. So this is based on Lena's pattern, but without the gores and sized up to my size, and with a little bit of a taller sleeve opening. So this will be the back piece on the fold. So I have the back piece here, and then I have the two side panels here. And yeah, I really like the fit, and I really like that it should be closed with hooks and eyes. And yeah, this is quite an old-fashioned way of making clothes where the seam isn't on the underarm, but it's moved back to the back, where you have this nice triangular shape, and I really like that. So this is my pattern finished, and it fits my fabric perfectly. I don't have to seam any pieces to get out this width of the fabric, which I would have been doing for the vita tröja. So I am super happy with that. I can fit all my pieces into the fabric widthwise, and I will have plenty of fabric left actually. So yeah, that will be great to be able to make something else in felted wool with. But everything is finished now. I have the sleeves, I have the fabric, I have the pattern ready. So it just itches in my fingers to begin to sew this stickarmaliv. But I have to be patient and do it when I have the time to properly dive into the process. So yeah, that's what I have been doing since last week. And in last week's episode you saw my skirt that I made. Also this kind of folklore inspired theme on that one. And you also saw my cast on for a new Adenia yoke sweater. And I finished the yoke, I finished the raglan increases, and I have now worked the whole body, and it's now on the ribbing. And I have made this one almost exactly like I did my last one. I have moved the stitches in a little bit, as I talked about in my latest episode, and otherwise I am just doing it as my other one because I think that fits really good and I like the length and everything. So yeah, I have made a couple of centimeters of ribs, so 2 more centimeters, and then I will cast the body off, and I only have the sleeves left. And this has been so boring. I can't lie to you about that. Plain stockinette stitch, just around and around and around, and don't have anything else to choose from is not my cup of tea at all. But I really want this to be finished before Christmas, because I love the little red detail. Yeah, I have really pushed myself to work on this the entire week when I haven't sewn the baby clothes and everything. I have just picked this up and knitted, and it's the perfect TV knitting. Not at all anything that's bad about having a project in only stockinette stitch, but for my brain and for my calm and what I love doing is not stockinette stitch in the round for hours and hours and hours. But at least the sleeves has something that is happening when you decrease every like 10th row or something. So the sleeves usually go a little bit better than the body for me, and actually the second sleeve is always faster because then I always count the little stitch markers where I will decrease, so you can always have that to go for. So yeah, my Adenia is growing. It's not my most fun knit right now, but I am so looking forward to this sweater. And yeah, it's no lie that I like this classic Fair Isle type of sweaters, but yeah, Adenia. And this is a pattern by Ella Gordon, and this one I am knitting in the same yarn as I wove the fabric for my stickamalie. So it's Ullcentrum 2-ply, but in a light version where it's 400 meters on 100 grams. The yoke part is some Rama lammull, some feinull, and some merino wool in British breed, so it's a mix of a lot of different things. And yeah, I like it, but I don't like knitting on it right now. So yeah, that is what I have been working on this entire week until last night. So where do I begin this story? But do you guys have, please leave a comment in the comments down below if you are like me, that I have in my mind, the stickamalie is one project, but it hasn't been there for so long. But in my mind, I have two projects that I have been dreaming about since, I think I first saved a picture of the sweater I will talk about today in 2020, in the beginning of the year of 2020. I saved a picture on Instagram of Olivia, Blackbird and Goose, and it's this picture that I will share with you here. So yeah, it's the most beautiful knitted cardigan, and she's wearing it with a rust colored skirt, and she's just the most beautiful creature I have ever seen. When I saw this picture, I was just blown away, and I have shared a lot of pictures from her account, or her and her husband's account, Blackbird and Goose, a lot of times on my YouTube channel, because it's a big inspiration for me. I love the account, I love the aesthetic. Yeah, I just love everything about it. And this picture I actually brought to a class I took with Arika Åberg a few years ago as an inspiration picture. I have used it so many times in mood boards for what I want to knit, for what I want to wear, and yeah, it's the most beautiful thing. And little did I know then that I would have a chance to meet Olivia a couple of times, and if she has a beautiful aesthetic on Instagram, she is even more a beautiful soul in real life. And I have had the blessing to meet her a couple of times now when she has been here in Ronneby for a few weekends, and yeah, it's just special for me, and I have always loved this cardigan. But when I saved the cardigan on Instagram, in where you can save the posts, in the same time when I saved this photo in 2020, Corinne from the Woolly Thistle also talked about this cardigan she had seen on Instagram, and she fell in love with it, and she couldn't find it, and she couldn't find a pattern that was similar to it. So she had a friend make a pattern for the star cardigan, and she made a replica or a very similar cardigan to the one that Olivia is wearing. And I got obsessed. I thought that was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and since then I have seen so many pictures of Corinne. I have seen Olivia in it a few more times. I have seen Lena Odell make a similar one with a similar pattern, a beautiful sweater, and yeah, it just shows up. And the original cardigan is from Nygårds Anna, which is a Swedish brand with high ethics, and it's beautiful and so inspiring. Just looking at their account is inspiring with their knitwear and the clothes and the colors and the fit and everything. But this is a project that I have been dreaming of since 2020, and I haven't casted it on, and I don't know why, because it's my best way of knitting. It's all over color work, it's seaming, it's sticking, it's all the fun things that I love about knitting is in this sweater or cardigan, and I still haven't casted it on and I don't know why. And last night I was just scrolling through Instagram, I was scrolling through my saved pictures, and the picture of Olivia came up and I was just like, I need to do it. I need to do the cardigan. So almost 5 years later, I just took the decisions and I did it, and it's so fun. And I haven't knitted that far yet because I casted it on last night, but I casted on the Star cardigan. It's a pattern by, I will have to write her name somewhere on the screen, but she made this pattern originally for Corinne in the Woolly Thistle. And I thought, since I had quite a lot of work left on my Adenia, I didn't want to cast on the body, but I thought I could start with a sleeve at least to have that itch of color work and something fun fulfilled. So this is the beginning of my sleeve, and I had the yarn at home, and this is the gray one, the light gray one, or the medium gray, is Ram och Finull, and the black one is that I have 2.5 skein left of Visjögarn, which is a beautiful Swedish yarn that they don't produce anymore, and it makes me so sad because it's the most beautiful yarn in the world, but the amount was perfect for this project, so I will cherish it and love it forever. And yeah, this is the sleeve of my Star cardigan, and this is the underside. I just love this little detail under the arm, like a faux seam, and it's so fun. It's so incredibly fun. My gauge is a little bit bigger. I think the pattern called for like 28 stitches on 10 centimeters. I think I have around 26, 27, and then I have thicker yarn, I have bigger needles, and I am still getting quite a tight gauge. And that says a lot about what a tight knitter I am, but I'm a little bit off, so I have casted on one size smaller than I should have originally. So yeah, let's see how the sleeves fit. And the part I have done fits well, so I hope that will continue. And when I cast on the body, I will just make sure that I get the fitted look that I really want, so it's not too big in the body. But yeah, this is my new little love project, and I'm so happy I did it, and I'm so excited for this. And this will go so fast because colorwork knitting is like a drug for me. It's just like one more row, one more row, one more row. And I love this feeling when you find a project that is just the best thing. And I have 2 of those now. I have the Sticka Maliv, the sewing part left on that one. That is just so exciting, and I can't stop thinking about it. And then I have this one, and I promise I will finish the Adenia. I love the sweater and I would love to wear it. So the sleeves on this one will be the perfect TV knitting with the kids and the last few weeks before Christmas. So it will be done, and this will be my little treat on the side where I get to do what I love the most. So yeah, that is my ongoing project. And when I started to think about this thing where you have a lot of dreams, maybe patterns that you bought years and years ago, but it always comes something new, something exciting, new designs, new yarns. You want to try this and that, but you always have those dream projects left where you might even have bought the yarn or you have bought a pattern when it releases, and you never do the pattern, and it's so sad. And I started thinking about it last night because I have a few things that I have been dreaming about for years and years, but I have never done them. So for me, 2025 will become the year when I do my dream knits. And it's not because they are harder than anything else I do, it's just I never do them. I don't know why. I have this cardigan, the Stars cardigan, and I have Yell cardigan by Marie Wallin. That has been my dream since, yeah, I think that was 2022 when I bought the book Shetland, and I have dreamt about that sweater for so long, and I have made other Marie Wallin designs that is the same, like, yeah, the same grading about how difficult it is. So I don't know why that hasn't happened yet. And I also have dreamt about making the Hansel hat or some sort of Shetland hat for years and years, and that is also Corinne from the Woolly Thistle that made a beautiful one in grey and I think yellow and white, and it's just so beautiful. So a Shetland hat, I want to make the Star cardigan, I want to make the Yell. I also really would like to make a Bohus sweater, but I don't have the yarn for that. And another goal I will have for 2025 is to work through my yarn stash, because it's starting to get ridiculously much sweater quantities. I don't mind having leftover yarns or skein here and there, because I always buy maybe a little bit more than I use for a pattern, but I have so many sweater quantities of yarn in my stash, and I really want to use them. I really want to knit with them. So I think I will think about this and maybe make a video in the beginning of the year of 2025. But for me, I think 2025 will become the year when I make the dream knits I have been dreaming about for so long, and actually using the yarn that I have and I like, and some of the yarns have projects to them that I have been thinking about for a long time. So maybe slowing down and going back to what we have thought about before and enjoying this hobby of ours that is making us so happy and so excited. So yeah, I think that is all for me today. I think we will catch up next weekend too, maybe with a smaller little vlog or a making video or something. But I really like this, popping in on the Advent Sundays to have a little chat with you. So until next week, happy knitting, happy creative life, and yeah, take care. Bye.